in the ongoing battle to tame all of the tracks in Marbula 1, Greenstone throws something a little different at our competitors today. Hello everybody and welcome to the 5th race in Marbula 1. I'm Greg Woods. Greenstone has 23 corners and is one of the longest tracks that anyone will see on the Marbula 1 calendar. It also requires a slightly different skill set. It's not a blazing fast sort of a circuit. The opening set of turns, which you see there are a lot of them, require precision more so than speed. If you set yourself up well, you could pay the dividends a little bit later on. Teams have tried to figure out which marble to put in this race. Did they make the right call? We're about to find out. And we're rolling! Around the first turn they come. Jelle with the lead. Trying to stretch this one out, and it's a 2-marble race early with Origin, who gets by into P1. Bolt holds 3rd place as they cross through that white line that marks the end of the first sector. Ooh, and a jaunt off the wall completely stops Jelle's momentum. Completely, I mean, just almost came to a stop. And that lets fall back to 3rd place. Origin up in front. Will they pick the right side, and I mean the correct side, of that little separation as they come for the first time onto the front stretch? It's Origin with a huge lead over Bolt. Momo holding in 4th place over Lime and Hive. Rojo Uno and Rapidly, who is our leader in the individual championship, comes in 8th. Bolt out in front ahead of Jelle, but those two switch spots for 2nd place several times through the first sector. The longer that they fight, the better it is for Origin, whose lead continues to build up front. A train developing, though, through this twisty serpentine bit in the upper part of the course as they head on to the backstretch. Jelle into 2nd place, got by Bolt, who is now having a little bit of trouble with Momo. Also watch Hive back in 5th. Is anybody going to take that pit lane? And we have our first taker who goes to the outside. That may not be the quickest way around this course. Shooting off the curbs is Jelle, nearly 3 seconds behind Origin in P1. We also get a look into Rojo Uno into 3rd place. As soon as I say that, I was about ready to say 4th. He already took 3rd, trying to eye up Bolt for 4th. Origin try to keep it off the walls or keep it off of the slowest bits as it begins to build speed in the lower portion of this Greenstone course. Lime back to 8th now. Momo back to 6th. Waspy makes an appearance in the top 8. Jelle falling all the way back to 5th, regains a spot into 4th. Bolt on the outside, fighting with Rojo Uno. Up they come, and the gap has come down quite a bit. What was 3 seconds is now a little under 2. Origin needs to pick up the pace just a little bit, unless he's trying to manage the gap up front. Bolt now sees Jelle behind. And Rojo Uno not too happy about that. A little nudge there off the wall that actually sends Jelle forward slightly, and right on the tail of Bolt. Remember, the more that those 2nd place fight, the better it is for Origin. Reminder also, in this race, we have 4 of the top 10 individual leading marbles in the championship. Hazers have been up front in the team standings, partly because of a great string of podium finishes. That came to an end recently. What's the gap now? As they streak across, it's back up. Origin maybe managing the gap indeed. Came down from 3 seconds, a little under 2. Now it's back to a little under 3. And a great battle developing for 2nd place, as it has for most of this Grand Prix. Just 9 laps this time, as opposed to our usual 10 or more. Here comes the gap down. Bolt starting to mount that challenge. Origin yet to respond. Out to the far corners of the track they go to head onto the backstretch. Jelle regains some momentum back into 3rd place. Waspy in 5th. How about Starry making an appearance now into 8th? Had a little bit of work to do. Slow off the penultimate turn is Origin. This is going to be much closer than 3 seconds. It's under half a second, in fact. A little bit slow off the belt. That lets Bolt close right up. A bump off the curves. Bolt has taken the lead. Origin nearly threatened to lose 2nd place as well, and does to Jelle. All coming undone for Origin here on lap number 6. That hard hit off of the curbs, almost similar to what we saw Jelle do through this very section earlier in this Grand Prix. Bolt suddenly sees things stretch out in front. Things are looking good. Rojo Uno hanging back there in 4th, has a little bit of a gap over Momo behind. That could let him set up a nice little charge here. Sometimes if the marbles are not worried as much about what's going on behind them and they get into that clear space, they can string together good, consistent laps that are going to make a difference farther on in this race. Into the final couple of laps, though, it is Bolt still out in front. exiting the first sector with a decent lead over Jelle, and Orangen, who is trying to respond after that one momentary lapse, catapulted what was a huge lead back into a third place running. Rojo Uno, Momo, Waspy, Starry, and Lime making up the top 8. We see some good moves farther back, but we really haven't seen much from the hosts yet. Obviously, everybody, every week, wondering if the host curse is real. And right now, how about that lap from Bolt, stretching it over 3.5 seconds into the lead? That is exactly what you want if you are a Thunderbolts fan, but having a little trouble through the first sector, and just like that, the lead is gone. Penultimate lap of this 9-lap Grand Prix, and it's still anybody's race. Orangen makes a move for second place, tries to eye up Bolt as they head to the far corners, around the hairpin up there onto the backstretch, and who's going to get the better launch? They opt for different sides of the separation, and Orangen carried more speed around the turn and takes the lead. A bump off the attenuator for Bolt, and he might lose second place as well. Orangen back up front. And we have seen the Orangers run pretty well at different times in this season. Orangen with a 1.5 second lead, but a long way to go, 14+ meter lap. And Orangen does not have this one wrapped up quite yet. Bolt still has plenty of time to make a charge. Jelle, Rojo Uno, Lime, those three are all in a big bunch. Slow off that turn, onto the backstretch. Orangen, just a few corners to go. Can he keep it clean? Off to the right, hits the inside of the exit, now through the penultimate turn. Cleanly onto the front stretch, around the last turn, and Orangen wins the Grand Prix at Greenstone. Bolt takes second, Jelle third, Lime a great recovery up into fourth, Rojo Uno, then Momo, and Mallard for the host Green Ducks just gets in the top 10 with a solid 9th. The Orangers are partying tonight. Bolt also picking up that one extra point, you see the purple number there to signify that, for fastest lap in the race. Congratulations to our podium finishers. Orangen, a great run, get up into first. It was a good battle even in qualifying between these. Orangen starting second, stretched things out once he got the lead. There's a good battle between those two with that nudge there, putting Bolt into first place. Then the retake. What an exciting Grand Prix this was. The Hazers still hold the top spot in the standings, just barely over Team Galactic and the Savage Speeders. The Orangers jumping 4 spots above the Green Ducks. Our next Grand Prix at the Short Circuit. Until then, stay tuned and subscribe for more. So long, everyone.